Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper, and in this video today I want to talk to you about a subject I've titled, When One Door Closes, Another One Opens. I think this is very important to go over as far as a prepper goes, because, just in life in general, because so many times all of us find it where that we've put our heart and soul into something, we've dedicated our time, materials, effort, and then it just doesn't work out. Do not lose motivation. Do not lose the desire to carry forward, regardless. When hard times come, whether it's economic collapse, the Seven Trumpets of Revelation, whatever takes place, that can't be the end of it right there. You've got to pick up and you've got to carry forward. Okay? That's what we're prepping for, to get through the hard times. You can't just give up when one door closes in your face. You've got to look for another way. Okay? Now, I've got my Bible laying here on top of this for a moment because I want to read here in a minute. But if you notice, I've never showed a video on this channel about this vertical axis wind turbine I built. Now you might be asking yourself, yeah, why haven't you, Luke? Well, I'll tell you. The unit did not perform up to my standards. At one point in time, this thing right here, I built this for my grandmother to have a portable power source because we had a portable power pack for her, and she could plug it into this, let it charge up with the wind, and then take it in her house and use it in case of an emergency or the winter storm maybe knocked out the power. Well, it just didn't work out. It didn't perform up to my expectations. Not only that, my grandmother passed away, and that was really hard to get through. And once time went by, I just kind of abandoned the idea for wind power. And then later down the road, thanks to the great folks at Missouri Wind and Solar, we were able to accomplish the task. And it didn't happen overnight, though. It took time to finally accomplish that, and that's the way everything goes in life. We've got to learn patience. As preppers, we have got to learn to be patient with people, because I'm going to tell you, I get a door closed in my face all the time with people. I get a mixed multitude talk to me. One day I'll have an atheist prepper talk to me and be like, I have no religious faith, but I respect the message that you have. And then the next day I'll have someone that's an atheist prepper, same mentality, and then they'll be like, I think you're an idiot. I think it's just stupid. You're going to run into all groups of people in your life, and I just use that as an example. That's something that just constantly happens on the channel. And so, I don't care if a person shuts out the fact that I'm trying to give them that message of hope, or they accept it. One thing about it is in game, that message has been there because they heard it. Regardless if they accept it now or they don't, they're going to hear it later down the road echoing in their mind. Yeah, that man told me that was going to come to pass, and well, it did. And when it comes to a door closing in our life, don't count that as that's the last opportunity you're going to get on something. So many of us are hurting financially. I can't say too much, but I was worried the other day my job was in jeopardy where I work at. And you can't think about this all the time. You just cannot let your life be dominated by these things. If I lose my job at work tomorrow, there's something better over the horizon waiting on me. I've got faith that that's going to take place. Those of us that trust in Master Yahweh and you're obedient to His commands. Now, did you hear me now? Obedient, that means that we actually show our love. We don't just say it, we put action with it, okay? People get this misconception that we are loved unconditionally. If you can find that written in Scripture, you show it to me, because I don't find that. What I find is we are loved based upon our obedience. If that wasn't the case, then Messiah wouldn't have had to die on a cross, on a stake. Not only that, Israel would have never went into bondage. Okay, so there is a conditional love there. It's based upon obedience. All right. And so, as long as we're obedient, trusting in the Most High, I believe that there'll always be another doorway for us. I believe when trouble comes, there's going to be a doorway for us to escape. I also believe, though, that being obedient, preparing for these things, not only in our heart, but physically, we're going to get through it. And people just do not put two and two together, okay? But you can't lose hope when things just don't work out for you, all right? That's not the end, folks. And I want to read just some passages from Scripture, because it's been on my mind lately. Because if you can see those videos I released the other day about the epic cluster mess that went down with National Geographic Doomsday Prepper Season 3, I'm not being out of shape over it. The only reason I really even put those messages in those two videos was to really show you an idea of the media, some of the media out there, what they really want to portray people, and the truth is it's right the opposite. I wanted to just get that out there and get the warning. But I want to read you something positive out of Scripture, and if you don't have a Hallelujah Scriptures Bible, I encourage you to get one. Visit them at HallelujahScriptures.com. Matthew chapter 25. Messiah told this parable, and he said, I just want to read it to you. He says, "Then the reign of the Shemayim shall be compared to 10 maidens who took their lamps and went out to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise and 5 foolish. Those who were foolish, having taken their lamps, took no oil with them. But the wise took oil in their containers with their lamps. And while the bridegroom took time, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight a cry was heard, 'See, the bridegroom is come, and go out to meet him.' And then all those maidens rose up and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, 'Give us of your oil, because our lamps are gone out.' But the wise answered, saying, 'No, indeed there will not be enough for us and you. Instead go to those who sell and buy for yourselves.' And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who ready went in with him to the wedding feast, and the door was shut. And later the other maidens also come, saying, 'Master, Master, open for us.' But he answering said, 'Truly I say to you, I do not know you. Watch therefore, because you do not know the day nor hour the Son of Man is coming.'" I'll stop there on that verse. I've got a little more scripture I want to read, but you know, be the 5 that were wise, okay? Prepare for what is coming, okay? Because I can't tell you the day nor hour the Son of Man's coming. But I can tell you this, there's going to be 2 groups of people. There's going to be people like me and you that are prepared, and there's going to be those others out there that ain't prepared. Now I'm trying my best to make preparation where I can not only help save myself, my neighbors, and part of my community, but I can't save everybody. Alright, and there's going to be people left behind, there's going to be people die. You don't need to be a statistic, you need to be a survivor. You understand? Alright, now I want to go on over here, John chapter 10. You can read right here, Messiah said, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he who does not enter through the door into the sheepfold, but climbs up by another way, that one is a thief and a robber. But he who enters through the door is the shepherd of the sheep. The doorkeeper opens for him, and the sheep hear his voice, and he calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought out his own sheep, he goes before them, and the sheep follow him, because they know his voice. And they shall no means follow a stranger, but shall flee from him, because they do not know the voice of strangers." Yahushua used this figure of speech, but they did not know what he said, what he had been saying to them. Yahushua therefore said to them again, "Truly, truly, I say to you, I am the door of the sheep. And all who came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep do not hear them. I am the door, and whoever enters through me, he shall be saved, and shall go in, and shall go out and find pasture." Okay? The most important door that we need to make sure is open for us is Messiah. Don't worry about other things that fail in life. You know, if the only thing you ever achieve in life is accepting Messiah and being obedient to the Father and keeping His commandments, even if we die in the middle of all this that's about to go down, we have gained the kingdom. And that's all that matters. You know, people get so caught up in the material things, you know, when one door closes, they keep hoping another one opens, and sometimes it just might not. But ladies and gentlemen, we cannot lose focus on what we are prepping for, okay? If you're like me and you're prepping for the new kingdom and for Messiah to come back, then our prep is just to survive to that point to see Him come back. Because we've already made preparation in our heart, regardless if we live or die, okay? Now the last verse I want to read is right here in Revelation chapter 3, verses 7 through 11. "And the messenger of the assembly in Philadelphia write, He who is Kodesh, He who is true, He who has the key of David, He who opens and no one shuts, and shuts and no one opens, says this, I know your works, and see I have put before you an open door, and no one is able to shut it. That you have little power, yet have guarded my word, and have not denied my name. See, I am giving up those of the congregation of Satan, who say they are Yahudim and are not, but lie. See, I am making them come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you, because you have guarded my word of endurance. I also shall guard you from the hour of trial which shall come upon the world, to try those who dwell on the earth. See, I am coming speedily. Hold what you have, that no one take your crown." You know, so many people come on to the channel, and I'll give you this as an example. They tell me, you don't trust much in your Creator because you're prepping. You know, we're already going to be gone. We're not going to have to deal with this. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be very clear with you. I am a post-tribulation rapture guy, okay? Let me explain what that means to you. That means a lot of bad crap's going to come your way before the Most High comes back, and you better get ready, all right? So don't come on here if you're one of those pre-tribulation rapture, been sheepalized at your local Babylonian indoctrination station called the Modern Church 103C Business, okay? I don't deal with that stuff no more. I've been there. I used to be a deacon in a church house. I know how this stuff goes down. All right, let me tell you what is going to happen is you better keep the endurance of Messiah, which tells you in Matthew chapter 24, he plainly says this is going to happen, and then I'll come back. Look for me, okay? So that tells me that I better be getting prepared to go through a lot of trouble before he comes back. All right, and he is the only door that really matters in the end. All right. So I know this has been kind of more of a religious video than it has been as much as a prepping video, but the fact that I want to get across to people is we just cannot get deviated off the fact of what we're prepping for. I mean, you cannot get distracted, disoriented, out of the path. You've got to stay in the right path, and you've got to stay focused every day. Don't let the little things stop you, okay? It's the little things that kill people. I mean, it really is the little things that kill people. It's not the big things most of the time. It's like that saying that most people die within a mile of home. It wasn't the journey that got them, it was the home stretch. All right, so don't lose sight of the reward that's ahead of us. So until we see you again here at Seven Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope this is uplifting and positive and helps motivate you to not lose sight whenever hard times come. And until we see you again, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua's name.